okay, at the football stadium. ICE and DHS are present, implementing mandatory search. What does Jim do? Does he A, decides to put a roll of quarters in his pocket and request Christy Nome search him for WMDs? B, ask the DHS officer, what's an old-timer got to do to get a bag of blow these days? I don't know why you would say that. Is it C, decides to wear all spandex that day? Or is it D, confuses DHS with a parcel delivery company and hands them a medical folder containing samples for his upcoming urology test? And let's go to you, Anna.
I can't fathom Jim wearing all spandex. So I have to say B.
As wait a minute, just for the record, you can't fathom Jim wearing spandex, but you can see.
You can't see him asking for blow from the DHS operative.
There's no time for visualization, Dean. Stop it.
All of it's hidden. It's all electromagnetic. They've already offset and extended the central nervous system. And by extending the central nervous system, our whole physiology has had to go through complete total changes. And all the effects of that, which include instantaneous communications, pattern interruptions, electromagnetic stress, changes in all communications. People are numb, basically, from the effects of electricity. They've been electrocuted, essentially, is what's happened. And that's just the start of it.
what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
Something ain't right.
How the fuck does this happen to me every fucking time? Great, I'm on air. Shit. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the shittiest show on the internet. I'm glad you're here. No, Jim, I hear you. I see you. You called me. I got you. You're here. Okay, so here we are tonight. Tonight's show is, it's called The Cost of War, and that's the cost of it, as you just saw there. I'm making I'm making a display of the cost of war. It drives you insane. But tonight is a great show. Don't let this fool you by any means. Tonight we're going to be going over what Trump's saying. No, don't tell me what to do. Please, you stop. And we're going to be going over the prices of groceries tonight. Yeah. Thank you. And we're going to be talking about capitalist makeovers in new cities like Sweden and somewhere on the eastern forefront of Europe. There's a lot of changes. That's going to be quite exciting here tonight. And also, and I'm so excited about this one, there is now a huge cultural shift we're going to be getting into in the second half of tonight. And a huge worrisome what's happening down under with an Australian makeover. Excuse me, doomsday. We all need the makeovers in Sweden. Okay. Yeah, no, you don't tell me what to do. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so we're going to be getting into a whole bunch of that here tonight. I believe we're on Rumble, who is definitely causing a stumble. Thank you, Dave. I see you. And we're going to be monitoring all of your live chats here tonight. And that's going to be exciting. I just can't wait for it. How about you out there? And Jim Fetzer is here to join the whole fun and just fun bunch that we are here tonight. Are you excited for that? I am as well. And tonight's show is brought to you by the Night Owls. You've seen what you're missing here as we are broadcasting live on the Travel Channel, YouTube, over there at DeanRyan TV, and the wonderful, impeccable Rumble. Let's get started now with some headlines from around the world and in your neck of the woods, shall we? I think so. All right, here we go. Are you excited? It's getting just real hot, just in time for summer. Just the way I like it. Well, you know, you might have noticed something. You go to the grocery store later. Well, gee, things are getting a little pricey, aren't they? Why is that, you might ask? Well, groceries are now having a spike. Let me tell you more about it. It's thrilling, exciting, and everything in between. Well, prices for grocery items have spiked to as high since the war began. Who would have thought that would have happened? Who would have thought? What are we, just a bunch of Karnaks together, just rubbing pennies together? Let's keep going. It's the main story of tonight's show, and you're going to love it. Okay, well, grocery prices climbed at their fastest rate in nearly 4 years, putting increased pressures on Americans' wallets it's a time when people are beginning to feel pessimistic about the economy. My God, who wrote this? I want to knock their teeth out. Oh, man, prices for groceries spiked in April, according to a new data released. And if you don't get these new data releases, what are you living in this country for? Let me tell you more about it. Ongoing agricultures, stupid battery packs, farming issues, mean grocery bills, and are rising quickly. Do you know about it? Well, if you don't know, you're out of the loop and there's something wrong with you. Well, now costs spiked, especially for few key staples in Americans' diets. You might have noticed. I'm talking about produce and beef. Where's the beef? Timmy asked. Well, Timmy, we don't have beef anymore because we're paying for Israel's war. Yeah. Don't you just love that? Don't you love paying for the wars? When's the war against Israel? That's the one where I start, recruiting myself. Well, now tomato prices are not the only things that have soared 15% just in April alone. No, they're not. No, siree. No, ma'am. No, as compared with a month ago, things are up nearly 40% this year. Believe me, I'm crying because of the sadness. The red fruit is now facing a barrage of hits. Rising prices of diesel caused by energy shocks from a war that never needed to be fought and really needs to be aimed at Washington, D.C. instead. Well, now the Strait of Hormuz is causing massive amounts of worries, depression, anxiety, unpopular anger, and very timely offings. I think you can guess what I'm saying. And Ask Canada, they might send you to go see their euthanasia. Well, Americans are embracing for meat meat prices as now the protein sky hikes and is going through the clouds at this point now. Federal health officials who want to kill you have also attempted to emphasize the nutritional value of red meat. You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to, you know how they make meat grinders and they make ground beef? Wouldn't you like to throw Fauci through there and make Ellen DeGeneres eat it? Does anyone ever fantasize about this, or is it just me? Well, demand for meat, and it's particularly beef in this case, is also rooted in a certain nostalgia, said William Masters, who's a master of nothing and a jack of nothing at all, a professor over there at the Food Policy and Economics at Tufts University, where their motto is tough shit if you don't like it. Well, the beef craze is now clearly a cultural sign about all things that beef is associated with. You know, beef cakes, you know, we got beef. However, since 22, it has risen significantly so high that it's broke the Richter scale and people stopped asking. And that's just the beginning of it all. It's sad to see, really. And that's just our beginning story here tonight. If you think that's it, let me tell you a bit about more headlines now. Well, I have some grim details for you. You might have heard about this. And it's more reason to pay attention now. The grim details are coming out now of a passenger who was unruly on a flight recently over there at Frontier Airlines, where they're saying, Frontier, it could be your last Frontier ever. In this case, it certainly was. Speaking of just meat grinders. Well, now a trespasser has been mutilated by Frontier Airlines jet engine over there at the Denver airport just recently. You might have missed all the hoopla. Well, the Denver airport has now released footage, which I'm debating whether I tell you or not, or show you rather. Ooh, I just saw it. Well, it's now there's a man who was sucked into the jet engine horrifically dismembered when he stepped into a Frontier Airlines plane as a plane was begin to embark on a liftoff. This career criminal, as he's now being spoken about, who's previously arrested for attempted murder, just for starters. Well, authorities now believe he intended to kill himself. They can't necessarily tell you why that girl jumped off a garage park over there in Disneyland, what her intent motive was, but in this case, they know. Well, his name is Michael Mott, was seeking to commit politely suicide as he calmly walked across the runway, which I can't show you. And now he is determined to be nothing but ground beef, part of the 90 billion served over there at McDonald's. There you have it. Well, you know, I'm telling you, people are going crazy right now. Have you noticed that out there? Have you noticed people just losing it out there, walking into jet engines? What's next? Where's the beef? Thank you. Well, you know what? It's probably the best way to go out if you think you want to just take off now. Finally, to continue the cost of war. As I'm sweating profusely, like Pete Megadeth in a congressional hearing. I get blurry. That's how nervous I get sometimes. Well, in this case, Trump now, as you saw, brushed off the cost of war, and he doesn't care about the Americans' financial situation. In his blunt comments, what does that mean to you? We'll ask Jim Fetzer what he thinks about it in a minute. But before I bring him on here to save the show, well, here's a little clip of what I'm talking about. And, you know, son of a gun, here it is.
Are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Let's welcome to the stage Jim Fetzer. Jim, are you out there? I can't see you. Jim?
Oh, Dean, what an hilarious beginning to this show. We loved it. We loved it.
What is wrong with Trump? What's wrong with Trump? Go ahead.
This guy is such an idiot to make such a statement with the midterms looming and, you know, the economy, the food prices up, gas price up, cost of living skyrocketing right before the midterm. It's disaster. Can you imagine how many Democrat commercials are going to feature Donald Trump saying he doesn't think about American financial concerns with the war? Unreal, Dean. What a disaster.
What a disaster, right, Jim? I mean, who would have ever predicted this? Not even Dionne Warwick would have saw this coming. But I think the most pressing issue that the administration has on them, Jim, is really what is affecting everybody. If you want certified Angus beef out there, you want to make hamburgers to celebrate the 300th anniversary this July 4th, Jim. Well, guess what? You're going to be met with a hand that says, "I don't give a damn." Talk to the ham because you ain't getting any beef.
It's at 250th, of course, Dean, but who's counting? It's about
sorry
who's
about that.
counting. Now, remember, yeah, certified
Right there.
Angus beef. Love it. Looks good. Remember, if Trump's concern was Iran not having any nukes, then why was the first act of the war, the first strike on 28 Feb to kill the Ayatollah, it issued a fatwa against Iran having any nukes? The one guy who was the greatest barrier to Iran having nukes is the guy they killed right off the bat, Dean. Ask yourself, how much sense does that make?
Jim, we have to be careful. This could be considered anti-American sentiment
Oh, yeah,
slash Israeli
treason now,
sentiment.
Dean, you're
Yeah.
right. Treason. Any criticism of the way we're conducting the war is now regarded as treasonous. What?
Yeah.
Happy horseshit, Dean.
So to offset the algorithms, I just want to say I think the war is going tremendously well. I think Trump knows exactly what he's doing, and General Patton has nothing on Pete Megaseth. Nothing. I just want to say that right off the bat, Jim. We have a lot of people who we have some people that disagree with you, Jim. I can't find them yet, but I know they're out there. So here we have Claudine saying, "Is crock shit?" Yes, we have Samantha Dubai.
It's a
Jim,
crock of shit.
Jim's getting love proposals. Jim has many hearts.
You're a very sweet.
Okay. We have Mona that says Trump is evil.
Hey,
We have Robin Skopinski says he must have had beef with Frontier. I don't know. Did they ever serve beef?
Frontier. Yeah.
He did? Okay.
I'll say
Uh,
getting sucked into a jet engine, by the way, is a pretty guarantee that you're not going to have any worries tomorrow. How awful.
You're sucking at life when you get sucked into an engine, just for starters.
Bad. Really bad.
That's terrible. If Jim and myself were like, funeral crashers, we'd be kicked out by now. Okay, here's another one here. We have a lot of people that are saying Rumble sucks. Yes, I know. I hate Rumble. I really do. I think they're so unfair. It's just worthless to me. They're all worthless except for Brighteon. Someone said sounds like a tweezers. Bad optics. Hey Jim, I agree with Jim. There's one woman who told me to ditch you, Jim. So we're gonna get you to apologize to her, and then last week she told me to ditch you, and I thought about it, Jim. I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna ditch him, but let's get Jim to apologize before I do." So we might do that at some point, Jim. Okay, I want to ask you about this before we go to our real deal politics and some other things here. The cost of war is as grim as that sounds, Jim. Real quick before we escalate out of here. Trump is asking for $1.8 trillion for the next fiscal year. How realistic is that? Who's going to vote for it at this point? What are your thoughts on that, Jim?
It's completely absurd. Just as Hegseth has concealed the true cost of the war, it turns out we spent $72 billion on the war in the first 60 days. That's $1.2 billion per day, Gene. And then they're socking us for another $1 billion for the ballroom. That wasn't supposed to cost us a single dime. And now Trump is overhauling the reflecting pool, and he's repainting in a way it won't be reflecting anymore, Dean. This is so stupid. We have morons running the government.
We have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that. And we're right now on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule. I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. It's double the size. You are not a smart person.
Someone there's not a smart person, but it ain't the reporter.
No, it ain't. It ain't, Jim. Okay, Jim, stand by. We'll get you on the other side. Be careful of the hantavirus out there. Just a reminder. If you see this rat nearby, run like crazy from it. All right. Thank you very much, Jim. Now let's now get to some politics just the way you like it, just the way we were. Yes, how romantic, actually. Just the way we were. Okay, just doing a little crooning. Jim inspires me. I don't know if you're aware of that. Anyways, let me tell you about this now. Well, we have some very, very unusual things happening the past week. You might have heard just about yesterday, MGT, or MTG, or MTG Gin and Tonic. One or the other. Well, let me tell you about this now. As politics tells us, well, what happens when you lose? You lose the people. The cost of war, from the trivial pursuits of it to the propaganda. What does it all mean? Who are these people? Well, now power prices are now climbing to 61%. People are definitely feeling the pinch. However, people don't trust the institutions. No. So much so, let me tell you about this now. As J.D. Vance, or as we know him around here, Mr. Smoky Eyes, well, he has his presidential hopes on 2028. But wait a minute, I don't think so. Someone in the bathhouse said, guess again. Yeah, and I'm talking about little Marco. Well, in a new poll now released, and I don't mean stripper poll, Marco, not that one. Well, in a new shock poll, Marco Rubio beats J.D. Vance by double digits if the 2028 primary showdown happened today. Can you believe it? I guess so. He's beating him by double. So what does he have now? 4%, that is. Well, now the shocking new poll that was just recently taken at Atlantis Intel suggests that there may be favorites to win the Republican Party presidential nominations, but it's not who you might think it is. Well, according to this incredibly new survey, which was conducted just days ago, included a sample size of 2,069 American adults. Yes, 69. And a plurality of 45.4% of Republican respondents now identify a little secretary, that little sweet secretary of state, that is Marco Rubio, as their preferred choice to carry out the GOP's banner 2 years from now. Now, what about Mr. Smoky Eyes? What about Mr. High Heels? Well, Vice President J.D. Vance, the man with the fake name who has long held a pole position in the race, finished second in a very staggering 29.6%, followed by the Florida governor, Mr. High Heels himself, Ron DeSantis, the man who killed somebody in 2008, according to the Epstein files. Well, now, after DeSantis, 10.3% of Republicans said, well, their preference wasn't included in the name, and that guy was Vivek Swamsey. What's his? Vivek Ramaswamy. Yes. The man who gives you 3 wishes, if you ask him politely, is now presently running to be the next governor. Wait for it. That's right, of Ohio. Well, he finished in 4th place at a 1.4%. Now, among the general public, 51% said they have negative, if not violent, tendencies of an outlook on the GOP. 46% said they have a positive image of Rubio, and another 51% said, well, they hope he dies soon. Now, that's terrible to say. Vance is further underwater, and they hope he drowns, in a negative 58%. It just gets worse. Now, on Monday, President Donald Trump asked the crowd, who would they prefer, J.D. Vance or Mark Rubio? Interesting that he's floating that around. Is he toying with people? I can only wonder. Jim, I'm going to bring you in because I know you've been following this tremendously. I know you used to be a J.D. Vance, maybe hopeful. Maybe he can rise from the ashes. What are your thoughts on this, Jim? Because I don't think J.D. Vance is getting the support of Donald Trump.
And by the way, the Hunta virus, I'm told Hunta in Hebrew means phony, fake, fabricated. So I think we're being played again. It's going to be, COVID 2.0. They're going to try to pull this stunt, and they often use ships for little pilot projects to see how it's going to go. Vance has never impressed me, and I think his dalliance with Erica is hurting him. That pelvis press on the stage didn't go over well with the American people, especially American women.
It did with me, Jim. It did with me. With me, went over just fine.
But Rubio, Rubio has a very checkered past. I mean, I've been told when he was in his youth, he was a teenage hustler. He was a sex hustler. I think that Thomas Massey is going to emerge out of Kentucky with a big enough lead that Massey is going to become the most viable and by far, because he's a critic of Trump and the country is turning massively against Trump. If the GOP want to win, they're going to have to adjust their sails. They're going to have to turn in direction. I say Thomas Massey is the right guy to run.
Yeah, Jim, I heard Marco Rubio was so flaming gay over there in Florida. He made Richard Simmons look straight. That's how bad it was at some point in his earlier day. But to emphasize not what the rumors are, well, check this out, Jim.
Going to be somebody else? I don't know. Does anybody have? Okay, let's go. You ready? Who likes J.D. Vance? Who likes Marco Rubio? All right. Sounds like a good ticket. J.D. That was a perfect ticket. By the way, I do believe that, but these are minor details. That does not mean you have my endorsement under any circumstance. But,
remember, the rumor has it Trump's going to be running again as vice president. That's supposed to be something the Constitution would permit, that he can't have a third term, but he could run as vice president. Problem being, of course, if he were to move up, then it would be the equivalent. So I don't know the legal niceties, but that's what I've heard is the intended plan for the Donald, who, of course, can't get enough of himself. You have the gold statue now. You got the Arctic Trump. You got his name on the Kennedy Center. He's saying he wants to remember in the same way as JFK. Fat chance. Jack kept us out of wars. Trump gets us into them.
Now, as we're talking about this, Jim, you might have noticed, too, that on the other side of things, well, there's now a new surge with AOC now surging in the polls for the so-called left. Jim, I don't know if you heard about that. And it's just incredible how she's now leading a primary for the first time in a most accurate poll. 2028 presidential hopeful, she's now being suggested in being, is now leading the Democrat side. Jim, just how serious is a AOC kind of primary candidate, if we can even take that seriously, Jim Fetzer?
Well, it's bewildering for the bartender to turn into presidential candidate, but I'll just tell you, Dean, whoever's on the Democrat side is going to have a huge surge of approval from the American people, because we're sick and tired of the Republicans. Trump has poisoned the Republican Party. He has destroyed it virtually single-handedly. MAGA is gone. Marjorie's got it right. And I've heard she's moving to Costa Rica. Well, I hate to see that happen, because she's the best critic of Trump I have ever heard, ever. She's wonderful, and I applaud her.
Well, Jim, check this out. In addition to AOC, who's a wonderful actress, on the Democrat side, former secretary Pete Buttigieg, he's now receiving, I believe, upwards of 25%, 24% of a favorability to be the primary candidate. I don't know if you heard about that. Well, get this now. Pete Buttigieg is beating Gavin Newsom, Jim, who's only at 21.2%. And for all of you keeping score at home, asking me about Kamala, well, Kamala is getting a 12.9%, like in fifth place. Like Jim and myself have a higher ranking than Kamala Harris. Think about that for a minute. That's how bad she is. But to emphasize what I'm talking about, here's an actual poll that I made, Jim, because I make polls on my off time when I'm not here. Well, look at this. 2028 Democratic presidential primary. So you have from the top here, look at this. AOC, Pete Buttigieg, you have Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, Andy Bashar, the psychic, I believe. You have Cory Booker, man who is, he won't be around much longer. You have Josh Shapiro, brother of Ben. You have Gretchen Whitmer, the Michigan governor, who is not always with us. You have Mr. Tim Ballroom Dancer Walls. You have Roka Kana. And then you have Rahm Emanuel, the son of the founders of Israel, the Zionists. And then you have Wes Moore, Ralph Warnock, and my favorite, none of the above, who is leading. He's actually leading a lot of the bottom half there. Jim, what do you think about that? Where does that leave us now with the establishment left? Who are they going to run in 2028? It's theirs to win. It's theirs to lose, actually.
Terrible slate of candidates, just awful. I mean, you look at that list and you can see why AOC is out there in the lead. It's just awful. And Gavin Newsom is such a phony. Everyone looks at that guy and they want to vomit. He is so obsessed with himself. He doesn't give a shit about it in California. He's done massive damage to the state. Yeah, I grew up in California. I'm born in Pasadena, and I just tell you, he's maybe the worst governor in the history of the state.
Really?
Unreal. Yeah.
Worse than Jerry Brown, huh? Worse than Jerry Brown?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Jerry had certain virtues, but Newsom not.
Okay, Jim, when we get back, you brought some incredible stories to the table, and I think it's worth sharing. I want to talk about, I have some World War III news. We have Putin and Russia and what they're going to do with Ukraine. Let's get into that. You have the upcoming famine, which we covered yesterday from Mike Adams. Absolutely. And then we have the potential UK elections. And we told everybody, Jim, that Queer Starmer, he's going to be pulled out of office by May, June. And here we are. It seems to be what's happening. So I'd love to get into that. And let's talk about some good things. What would happen if Trump suspends the federal gas tax? Because, Jim, we need some gas relief, if you know what I'm talking about. So stand by. You're watching World at War. Just an incredible, flawless show here tonight. And I can't wait for that and a whole lot more after this quick message. Don't go anywhere, and we'll make it up to you. Stand by. These are crepes again.
Yeah, crepes.
Oh, wow. Take a picture. That's so nice. Voila. Strawberries, bananas. Oh. It's beautiful. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Tonight's show is brought to you by Real Deal Media's Night Owls, who make this possible, who make things worthwhile, who give us perspective, and who provide me conjugal visits every time I go to prison and mental facilities. Thank you very much. We love it. Couldn't be here without you. Also, thank you to my parole officer, Juan, if you're out there. You're one in a million. Yes. Also, tonight's show is brought to you by you, the donators, the detonators over there at Gifts and Go, which we also do Real Deal Go, because a new slide is yet to be made by our interns who have returned all the way back to El Salvador, which is booming, I heard, this time of year. Have you heard? Yeah, I thought so. Also, don't forget to raise your glass in the morning. Make that cup of coffee worthwhile by going to RealDealMedia's.tv's incredible store. Next time you break out that cup of joe, just always remember indulgence. Well, it's a cup away. That cup is going to be at the RealDealMedia.tv store, where we now have the Real Deal Media's Pirates of Hormuz, one of Jim's most celebrated roles since he was in that movie Giant with Rock Hudson, Elizabeth Taylor, and James Dean, where Jim played Rock Hudson's body double. We loved it back then. We still love it today. So you can get that. And Mr. Neil Bishop, and that's his real earring, by the way. Yes, it matches the one on his nipple. Okay, we are back now. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Real Deal Media's World at War. I'm still Dean Ryan. I tell you, I don't need steroids. No, it's 100% FDA approved right here. Know what I'm saying? Tonight's show is Cost of War, this episode, and we have a costly time of night here today because we're trying to make sense of the senseless. You might have asked yourself, when is this paradoxical roller coaster from hell ever going to get off? Well, I ask myself that almost nightly, fortnightly sometimes. But in these next couple of segments, we're going to be going down a wavelength of news stories. We're going to be getting to your questions, comments, concerns, conjecture, and all-around calamities. Okay. John, I could not agree more. A cup of coffee sounds good right about now. Thank you. Thank you very much. John can read my mind. And how about those crepes? Jim, before we get... Jim, aren't crepes amazing, especially street crepes?
That looked fantastic, Dean. Did you have it? Was that for you? Did you devour that beauty? It looked fantastic.
Jim, I'm on a diet. I'm on a celery and wheatgrass diet only. I don't eat that pedestrian stuff.
I was just salivating watching that thing put together. It looked so damn good.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Okay, I didn't have it last time, but what I'm going to do this coming weekend, if time constraints allow me to, I'm actually going to get a strawberry banana chocolate crepes for everybody. I'm going to eat it for everybody and live your heart's desires. That's going to be great. And Claudine says Irish coffee. How about that, Jim? How about an Irish coffee? Don't you have your flask filled with booze somewhere around you?
That sounds like a great idea too.
Oh, I think so. I think so too. Okay. So we have some people over here on the Incredible Rumble. David Nader says, how about pie? I think pie sounds great. Yes, it is. Get this. Rebel Mama says ground beef, everybody, in Canada right now is $10.99 a pound. Holy shit. Wow. Exactly. That's like a burger and a half, maybe. According to my scientific calculations. She says, also, she goes on by saying, don't let the Canadian government, don't tell the Canadian government, they'll add jet engine mincing to the main program.
Yes. My thought exactly.
Marnie, you're sick and twisted, and I sure admire that about you. Crepes sound good. Okay, so, and we have Sam Harvey that says, I made lemon bundt cake. What are your thoughts on that, Jim? Okay, that's
good. Good. Sounds great.
And finally, Maddie Lynn says, drinks are on Jim with that booty treasure chest. Jim, you been showing that booty lately?
It's the treasure chest, Dean. Yeah, from the Pirates. Absolutely. We share one and all.
Okay. So here's some incredible stories now as we now go. And Jim will get right back to you. We're now going to be going to everything World War III, into some finer things in the geopolitical atmospheres and ionospheres. It was a very confusing world where sometimes the answers seem like questions, but that's the kind of ideological subversion we're living in. Stand by here. World War III. Let's talk about it. There's a war on for your mind, if you recall. I think so. Well, in this case, now this now brings us to some incredible things here. Some incredible things is the cost of war is costly, but just how costly is it? Well, don't ask so many questions. And if you do, make sure they're expertise in this case. Well, let me tell you about this now. Putin, who's now in question, is now bragging in a braggadocious way about his new tools. Now, Putin says Russian troops face NATO-backed force at a Victory Day parade. Are you that? Yeah. Well, as he's talking about that, he's now also boasting about a new nuke torpedo, as he's now hinting about holes in the U.S. under the sea. Under the sea, in the holes, there will be. Well, Russia's new nuke torpedo sub hunts holes in U.S. undersea defenses, which I'm hearing at all accounts that they're the worst and all-time low than they've ever been before. Can you believe it? Well, as Russia moves closer to deploying the Poseidon nuclear torpedo abroad, it's dedicated to the carrier submarine. Well, the weapon is increasingly emerging as a test of deterrence, arms control, and under-the-sea warfare. Can you believe that? Well, this month, Naval News now reported that Russia is advancing the development of its Poseidon strategic underwater weapon by constructing something called the Cobb-Bor-Rozvik. The Cobb-Bor-Rozvik. Cobb-Bor-Rozvik. You say it 3 times, you'll get it. It's now a all-purpose built nuclear-powered submarine now undergoing fitting over there in the Severodvitsky in the Russian Arctic. According to newly emerging details, this all-in-one submarine, really ravine full of luxuries, is not only the home to many sailors who are trying to put holes in U.S. destroyer ships, but also can provide a good game of underground, gambling, many critics have said. Well, all that aside, the submarine forms it now part of the Vladimir Putin's invincible strategic weaponries. Unveiled just a couple of years ago, this newly renovated one is now designed exclusively to carry the Poseidon, a nuclear-powered, nuclear-armed intercontinental torpedo / heavyweight champion. Move aside, George Foreman, and get out of the way, Larry Holmes. This is a new kind of torpedo that's not your grandma's torpedo, and a submarine that's here to stay, they're saying. Isn't that something? Nothing warms my heart more than that. Well, speaking of that, there's now a new debate in just how this is going to go, as which way the wind's going to blow. Well, now they're saying Iran is to end the drought and the destruction of the U.S. radar installations throughout the Middle East. This is something new. This is something interesting. You should hear about it. Well, now Iran is trying to do the work of their deity in this case. Well, they're now saying that there is droughts being caused by the U.S. through their radar installations throughout the entire Middle East. Abnormal droughts, that is, that have been dragging on for 15 years plus. They're saying because the Westerners continue to silence or deny any claims made about this, they get censored. Yes, the authorities finally called on all farmers now in Iran to sow as much wheat as possible to plant without worry, since water could certainly not be lacking during the summer seasons, only to find out they were betrayed. They're saying chemtrails and waves of it have been plaguing the Middle East for well over a decade now. Now Iran looks to destroy these installations put there by the West once and for all, immediately, no questions asked. Get out of my way, punk. That's what they said. Little testy, if you ask me. Now you might have heard about the presidential power of World War III. Well, FDR stayed in office during World War II. Yes, him and his lovely wife, Eleanor. Just incredible. Well, now they're saying Trump is looking to do the same thing in a time of war. Oh, that's truly an ordeal now. Trump 2.0. They're calling it how Trump is now looking to lock power and stay in power. Well, a lot of people are saying, well, how is that possible? This is not a very popular war. In fact, it's not even a war at all at times, depending who you ask, when you ask, and how you ask it. Well, now the recent interview now is a theory is now floating around as President Trump's loss in 2020 wasn't a defeat as so much as a forced timeout that made his comeback sharper. So much sharper that he's not looking to go anywhere anytime soon. Trump 2.0 isn't just a set of tweets on steroids, they're now saying. The Project 2025 is in all effect. Allied groups like America First Legal are all scaffolding many supporters point to and are now the driving engine in some cases that Trump's not going anywhere, even in the face of his now Department of War, before we get Jim on here. As now Hegeseth says, Mark Kelly will face legal review for blabbing classified information on TV and in a time of war. Well, a member of the seditious six, and not to be confused with the succulent seven, well, the seditious six is allegedly stuck a foot in their mouth recently by blabbing on TV, according to Pete Megadeth, man who doesn't like life, but death itself only. Well, in recent months, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, the man with a very shiny bald head, has found himself fighting off consequences for his participation in a video advising U.S. military service members to disobey orders, just say no, as they believe to be an illegal at time, orders that is, if given to them. Now, the former astronaut of where, I couldn't tell you, well, widely considered a likely hopeful ahead of the 2028 Democrat presidential primary, faced a renewed ire from the Little Secretary of War, Pete Megadeth, over comments made recently over there on CBS Deface the Nation, as the cabinet official asked, did he violate his oath? Well, apparently he did now. Hegeseth wrote just recently over the weekend that, quote, Captain Mark Kelly strikes again. Now he's blabbing, going blah, blah, blah on TV about classified Pentagon briefing he received. Did he violate his oath again? Ew, as if. There we have it on that. Well, let's talk about it. Jim, I bring you back as the only way I know how to be. I mean, Trump, how's Trump going to stay in office again? And I don't think Pete Hegeseth is going anywhere, is he?
Hegseth is a complete moron. His performance before Congress has been an utter disgrace. He looked like a fool. It was embarrassing. If one has to choose between Mark Kelly and Pete Hegseth, it's a no-brainer. Even as a Marine Corps officer, I used to give instruction based on the Uniform Code of Military Justice that you are obligated not to obey illegal orders. So what Kelly was talking about is a fact. It's a part of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And for Hegseth to be disputing it is just ridiculous beyond words. Ridiculous beyond words. This administration has turned out to be a clown show, Dean, I'm sorry to say. And the mishandling of the war with Iran and the fact that it's Trump's ego that is keeping us there. That's the sole reason. He doesn't want to be a president who lost a war. But we have already lost. Iran has already won. Now it's just a question of how serious are the damage is going to become, because the longer we're there, the worse it becomes for us and the West and the rest of the world.
We have the Watchmen over there on YouTube. Thank you, Watchmen. What about the Gang of Eight? Jim, we've heard about the Seditious Six, the Succulent Seven. What about the Eight?
Well, the Gang of Eight are members of the Senate that are supposed to be informed on top secret. You know, they're supposed to be given advance notice and give confirmation kind of informally, because the president is conducting foreign policy with the advice and consent of the Senate, which he's generally ignored. He's going ahead doing all these things. He's infuriated Saudi Arabia, by the way, by trying to resurrect kinetic warfare. They don't like it. Pakistan doesn't like it. And when Iran took out a series of radars in the United Arab Emirates, All of a sudden, it began raining again in Iran. I'll tell you, Dean, before they took them out, the drought had led their reservoirs to be at 1%. Now they've taken them out there at 100%. It was like a mini harp set up in the United Arab Emirates, which turns out to have been a covert ally of Israel the whole bloody time.
Here's Lawrence Brindley. Damn, Dean. Damn. Whose side are you on? Jim, whose side am I on?
You're on the side of America, Dean. That was obvious. You're on the side of the people.
I may not be. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not on the side of America. What are my options, Jim? I need multiple choice.
Wow.
Here we have Jim and I might be on the side of Ukraine. We don't even know anymore. It just differentiates.
Absolutely not.
Look at this, Jim.
China and Iran. Russia, China, Iran. Those are the good guys here.
Jim, how big has your electricity bill gone up in the past month?
Oh, it is growing, because of all these data centers, which are highly redundant but have phenomenal energy requirements and consume vast quantities of water. Areas of the United States are becoming uninhabitable, and the energy bills are going off the roof. It's absurd. We are destroying America by all these data centers. It's a plague of worse than locusts, Dean, because they are really destroying America physically.
Yes, it is. And do you want to talk about the droughts throughout the Middle East used by U.S. satellite systems that have caused apparently a lot of droughts throughout the Middle East? That was unbeknownst to me, Jim.
Oh, no. It's been going on for 30, 40 years. But as I say, Iran has found the key to it. When they wiped out this whole series of radars in the United Arab Emirates, water began to fall in Iran immediately. So they're in great shape now. The CIA has explained they have 70% of their missile capacity. Actually, the Iranians say 120%, because they have underground missile production factories. They have more missiles now than they had at the start of the war in February 2018. They are stronger now than they were then.
Wow, Jim. Jim, whose side are you on?
Oh, Iran, 100%. Iran. I've been to Iran. The people, it's wonderful. It's a deep culture. It's thousands of years old. They are a principled culture. Bear in mind, maybe the great peace-loving nation of the world, because they haven't launched a war of aggression against any other state since 1775. Remember the Declaration of Independence, 1776. We're going to celebrate our 250th. Well, the Iranians go back 2,500, even 3,500, even 4. I mean, it's just astounding. They have a deep, rich culture, and they are principled. If the Iranians say it, you can believe it.
Let me, Jim, I want to address this conspiracy theory. I just want to address this because we don't have a lot of room for that on here. Let me address, this is John saying it was HARP, the radar's focused microwave energy into the chemtrail, infused skies, heating the ionospheres, creating high pressure systems to steer the low pressure storm systems away from Iran.
Excellent.
Okay, I can't. No argument here. I can't beat him on that one. He's done his homework, Jim. Okay, so there's that one. Now look at this here. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. Here's some good things happening. Jim, you look like a guy that drinks milk. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel that I'm right. Well, now, if you are milk out there,
shakes, ice cream. I don't drink a lot of milk. I use a vanilla creamer in my coffee, though.
Well, in this case, the Trump administration is now telling people to drink whole milk. Look at this here. The Trump administration wants you to drink whole milk. Here's what actual health experts want you to know. Bobby and others have donned milk mustaches on social media declaring that whole milk is back. How exciting is that? Drink up.
Yeah.
2,000 calorie a day diet, noting dairy is an excellent source of protein, healthy fats, vitamins.
Yeah.
Jim,
I do think.
Go ahead, Jim.
I think Bobby's having more influence, and it's very positive. I'm very glad to see this.
allowing schools to have 2.7. Jim, is this just not a dog whistle for breast milk and for mothers to milk their children or give milk to their kids? That's essentially what they're saying, as taboo as that is.
That hasn't crossed my mind. I think this whole skim milk thing was, there have been various kinds of schemes by industries to try to move the market in their direction with phony critiques of what's bad for you. Whole milk was supposed to be bad for you. It's one of the most wonderful. Eggs, maybe the most nutritious food on earth. Eggs. I mean,
Jim, I tell you, I'll be honest with you, Jim. I don't like whole milk. I don't. It's not for me. I don't know. I'm saying, raw milk. I like whole milk. Is that what? I don't like raw milk.
Well, this wasn't raw milk. This isn't for raw milk, but
Oh, okay. I just flubbed the whole story. But I don't like raw milk.
It was just for whole milk. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I take it back.
Not
I like
fat-free, not fat-free, not skim.
I don't like fat-free milk. No, my grandma likes fat-free milk. I don't like it.
I can't abide skim milk.
No, it's terrible, Jim. It's absolutely terrible. Okay, here's another one here. We have Claudine saying they made a big mistake to attack Iran. Claudine, whose side are you on? Yeah. Whose side are you on, Claudine?
Yes.
Thank you.
Claudine, this is going to go down as the greatest military diplomatic blunder in history.
Whose side is she on? I'm not sure whose side she's on.
She's got it 100%.
We'll let it slide. We won't flag that comment, Claudine. Don't you worry. Okay, here we have another one. We have the Watchman saying Iran has cheap gas. Jim, it's so cheap that it comes with a chicken dinner. Every time you get a dinner, you get some free gas over there. That's how big it is.
I go back and I remember before the OPEC crisis, when I would get gas, they would give you a set of glasses. They'd come out, they'd wash your windshield. There was a time when the oil companies really performing services for the American people. Then we had the phony gas crisis and all that went away, never to return.
And let me ask Claudine, is almond milk and soy milk, all those, are they really milk? Because the milk industry is suing almond milk out of existence right now. They're trying to, at least, for the title. Here we have some other women here. And eggs, yes, exactly. Thank you. Eggs are the best. Okay, here's some here. Dean, have you commented on Bill Zarian's platform yet? What platform?
Dean, I'll fill you in. Bill Zarian had a debate with Alex Jones, and Alex Jones seems to have gone over. Nick Fuentes apparently turns out to be a Zionist hack. But this Bill Zarian is arguing with Alex over whether Israel even deserves to exist as a nation. And this Bill Zarian is a very formidable guy. So I've got a link for, my show tomorrow.
I got it.
Yeah? You bring it out. Play a couple minutes of that, Dean. You got it right there.
Well, Jim, how about this, Jim? How about this? Tomorrow, Wednesday, up to Jim, why don't we do a watch party and then actually have our own debate about the debate? How about that, Jim?
Well, but it's good for you to show part of the debate.
Okay, you're right.
He's a very formidable guy. I'm impressed. And he does.
Jim wants me to tease.
He's got a way of cutting through the smoke and mirrors. He just says it like it is. I like the guy.
As everybody's turning against, what are they going to do? A big false flag? Something like that?
That's the scary thing, right? I mean, they're not going to just hand it over. They're not going to go down without a fight. We know that they, have no scruples. We've seen the things that they've done in the past. I mean, that pager attack was one of the biggest terrorist attacks in history. And, and that was kind of applauded, and many civilians died or were hurt because of that. And that was something they had been planning for 8 years. So it just shows kind of the nefarious nature of that country and how they've done business. I mean, and you look, they literally poisoned Palestinian wells. Like that was, that was an authorized attack.
If you were the president, what would you do?
I would declare war on Israel. I would cut off, at a minimum, I would cut off all foreign aid. I would let Iran have free will to do what they want with Israel. I would kind of let the problem probably take care of itself, to be honest, because if we stop defending Israel, I think they would get what they deserve. They have been persecuting these Palestinians. They've been operating apartheid. They've attacked all their neighbors. They bombed 7 countries in a year. They continue to just have unprovoked aggression. I mean, they are a total terrorist nation. I just don't.
Okay, well, there you have it. What a debate that would spark. Jim, go ahead.
He's got it right. And what I was saying is, Alex Jones and this Fuentes have endorsed Randy Fine. Randy Fine is a zealot, a Jewish Zionist zealot. He's the last kind of person we want in Congress. We got to get him out of Congress, not put him in. Alex and Fuentes have shown their true colors, Dean. It's really
Jim. I haven't really commented on Nick Fuentes, really. I know people have been just at my doorstep wanting to know, but I've always felt I think he's an informant. I mean, it's pretty obvious to me. You don't have to look far. He's an actor.
Right. I think you're right.
He is.
I was impressed in the beginning with a lot of his shtick, but today it's worn itself out. I agree with you. But Alex, what a disappointment. That anyone out there should be seriously endorsing Randy Fine. That's insulting beyond words.
Well, that now leads us to
Your voice is strange, Dean. Your voice is strange, but I'll give you my final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. The redistricting going on may seem to favor the Republicans, but it ain't going to work. The public is fed up with the wars, with the lying, this egomaniac, his gold statues, his ballroom, his Arc de Trump, all this nonsense. We're sick of it. We are sick of it. Whoever the Democrat put up there, as long as it's not a complete lunatic, is going to win by a landslide. That's why it's so serious. AOC, well, I would never have thought, but she may turn out to be better than a whole lot of alternatives. Let's find a decent running mate to go with her and see what happens. Kevin Newsom, some of those others, despicable, really awful people. But I'm telling you, the overwhelming edges for the Democrats this time around.
Well, my final thoughts, I'm going to borrow some of the viewers here tonight who have the rest of the people here. All I want to say is, repeat what they're saying. Trump is a chump for Israel. Randy Swine, I think that's all you have to know. All you have to know. And my final thought. And another little show note here. We may be doing a watch party of that debate of Andrew Sharon and Alex Jones. I think that would spur a lot of debates of our own. We'll decide whether that will be tonight or Thursday. And Jim, a lot of people are asking me too. You never reported to us your big China buffet for Mother's Day for your wife and the mother of your children. How does it take off?
Dean, something happened with your mic, so we can barely hear what you're saying. I mean, it's just the end. It's like the beginning. We've come full circle tonight, but we love you, Dean. We love you. We love the show. We're glad.
Our tanker.
Excellent. Now we could hear you. We could hear you. We could hear you now.
Jim, I desperately want to know before we get out of here is how was the damn Chinese buffet? That's all I care about.
Oh, it's fabulous. Fabulous. Everybody had a great time. The Mongolian grill, they even had the seafood special. They had crab. They had lobster tails, so they were very low quality. But it was great. We had a wonderful time, Dean. Wonderful time. And Jan has been forever having this hot and sour soup. And I took her 2 days before and tried it. It is fabulous, to die for. I can't believe all these years I miss this unbelievably good soup. Next time we go, Dean, believe me, we'll have it.
I can't wait for that, Jim. And thank you for alerting me about my sounds tonight. People are really messing with me in my life. On that note, we're going to get out of here. For Jim Fetzer and everyone else here at World at War, I'm Dean Ryan. Said thank you for sharing a bit of your night. Until next time, always remember to stay tuned, stay awake, and get help if needed. We all need it sometimes.